Well, welcome back, and this is the fourth session on Discovery 2. This is E on engaging our communities. Uh, this is not that long a session as far as the work in the actual book. There's only 4 or 5 pages. It's one of the shorter ones. But this is a lesson in which you're actually working pretty hard against the cultural misconception of what a church is and does. So although there's not just a flood of information, you're really working hard against kind of a Bible Belt, kind of an American mentality of what a church is in this lesson. I'll talk you through a little bit of that here to tell you how I would tackle that. And then toward the end of this lesson, there is some good information that will actually be new, perhaps even to you and to some of your people. It's information that's been scattered through the life of Lake Valley. We've said it in different ways and places. We've never brought it all into one place, but now we have, and I'll talk you through that as well. So, first thing I want you to notice is on the very first page of this lesson, page I think it's 25 in your booklet, there's a paragraph that really kind of sums up the problem that you've got in communicating this, even to people who've been around Lake Valley. And it says something like this: you have joined a family, but not just in a family. We've not just been adopted into a family. That was last week, and that's true. We have been adopted into a family that's on a mission, and this is crucial. The quote from the book is, this whole church thing is a lot more important than just finding some people, some music, or some programs that you like. And this is the issue you're going to be facing even with a home group of people who perhaps have been at Lake Valley for a while. The truth is, no matter how much we preach and say things like that, the fact is most people make very emotional and you might even say somewhat shallow decisions about church. And it's mostly a shopping mentality. It's mostly a consumer mentality. Do I like this church? Do I like the preaching? What is the music, the kind of stuff I like? Can I put up with what I don't like? What do you have for my children? What do you have for my teenager? What do you have for me, for my family, for my needs? There's also one that's not talked about very much. It's always in play. We're always asking, do I want to be associated with these people? Where are these people on the social ladder? Are they too high for me? Are they too low for me? Will I be embarrassed when someone says I go to Lake Valley Church? And so does this person over here. Am I going to be socially embarrassed that I go to church here? Or will this enhance me socially and with my friends and in my business and in my circle? Now, we may not like to talk about that out loud very much, but the fact is a lot of people make decisions about church based on these kinds of issues. No surprise, this is a gross misunderstanding of what a church is. It's understandable. It's the world we live in. We can't pretend like it's not in play, but we're aiming for something higher. In this lesson, we're trying to get our minds out of consumer mode, out of shopping mode, out of how can you please me. We're trying to get away from picking a church like you would pick a service club or a country club. We're trying to, in this lesson, help people gain a vision that a church, biblically understood the way Jesus understands it, since we're his followers, since we're his disciples. He sees the church as his family, his brothers and sisters. And he's on a mission to redeem the world, to heal the world, to love the world, to bless the world. And so are his family. So is his family. Those who are following him are not in it solely or even primarily for what's in it for me. We have learned to believe his message that if we will lose our life, L, if we will get on board with him, imitate his ways, with I, within his F, family of families, that in fact, if we will get on mission with him and look to engage our world and our community and love it and serve it and bless it, that in fact, the life that we've been longing for, we will find. It's counterintuitive. It sounds upside down, particularly in an American me consumer shopper culture. But Jesus' message is, you got to lose your life to find it. You got to serve the world to gain the world. You have to love the world even when it's unlovely. And that in doing that, you will find, in fact, life and love that you've always wanted. That's the big idea, and that's what you're kind of working against. The actual lesson itself is straightforward. The questions, I believe, you don't have any problem understanding what we're driving at. Take your group through it. There's some good work on Genesis 12 around the Abraham and the promise to Abraham about how we are chosen, and we're never chosen for our own sake. In the Bible, people are chosen for the sake of others. And as they fulfill that chosenness, they find themselves blessed as well. The whole thing here, guys, is kind of like if you ever see something out of your peripheral vision, but then you try to look at it very directly, you lose it. When we go through our spiritual life trying to get a blessing just for us, we lose it. When we go through our spiritual life focused on following Jesus, then we find a blessing for ourselves, and it's real, and it's there. But that's not what we're going for. We're going for Him. And He promised that we would find what we're looking for as well. So we take you through that with some work on Abraham, with some work from Ephesians 3, 10 through 11, that great statement about the church. Some work from Jesus Himself in Matthew, and then from Paul in Ephesians on serving. And then from 1 Corinthians on religion and love. Now, I would just spend some time here. You want to see if you can't get some conversation and some going about consumer Christianity versus following Jesus and engaging our world. A lot of Christians want to hide from the world. They want to throw grenades at the world. They may even say they want to change the world. But Jesus believed you change the world and you save the world by loving the world, by healing the world, by serving the world. It's a position of humility and service, not of lording it over and yelling at them that we're right and you're wrong. You need to come agree with us, but of serving them in humility and in love, with respect, with love. That's the idea. See if you can't get some conversation going, some discussion going. Is that too pie in the sky? Is that too whatever? Is that too idealistic? But this is what we understand Jesus' message to be.